Hey students, welcome to the second set of questions on economic growth. Question 1, it says the nation of GATE experiences growth rate of real GDP of 3.1% with a population growth rate of 4%. Now to find out the growth rate of real GDP per capita, we would use this formula. That's the growth rate of real GDP, which is given to us as 3.1%. From that, we subtract a population growth rate of 4%. So this one is negative 0.9%. As the population is growing faster than resources or real GDP, this country is not achieving modern economic growth. Okay, this is our answer. The next one, I have the formula right in front of us. The real GDP is labor hours, which is 100 times the productivity of 9. This brings it to 900. Question 3. Suppose France and Brazil start with identical GDPs, but then France grows at 7% while Brazil grows at 1.4%. The rule of 70 tells us something doubles in value using this rule of thumb formula, that's 70 over percent growth rate. So the economy of France, that is gonna double in 70 over 7. That means 10 years. As for the economy of Brazil, that's gonna double in 70 over 1.4. That's 50 years. This is our answer. France's GDP doubles in 10 years while Brazil's in 50 years. Moving forward. Question number 4 is about convergence. Convergence is a process by which the leader countries would grow as fast as possible as the follower countries. So here my answer is gonna be this one. Catching up is possible as follower countries tend to grow faster than leader countries. All right, moving forward. Question 5. A nation's real GDP was 250 billion in 2014 and 265 billion in 2015. The population was 122 million in 2014 and 125 million in 2015. What is the growth rate of real GDP per capita in 2015? I'm going to ignore this billions and millions, but just write this formula here. We know the growth rate formula is new value minus old value over old value times 100. The real GDP is growing at 265. From that we subtract 250, divide over 250 times 100, and the population growth is 125 minus 122 over 122 times 100. Doing the math, this is 6%, This one is approximately 2.45%, and it's approximately 3.5%. That's our answer. Question 6. Alpha is a developed economy with a growth rate of 2%. Omega is a developing economy with a growth rate of 8%. Assumption this growth rate remains constant. We would predict what? This is a clear case of convergence. The developing economy is growing at a faster rate than a developed economy, so Omega's per capita real GDP will finally catch up to Alpha's. Alright, that was B. Moving forward, question 7. I have the real GDP as 2000 in 1900 is growing at 1% annual rate. We need to find out the real GDP per person 100 years later. This is my formula here. Final value is present value times 1 plus growth rate to the power number of years. Present value is 2000, is growing at a meager rate of 1%, but it is growing. Now, if we do the math, which we are gonna do, is approximately 5,410. Good. Question number 8. It says the largest contributor to increases in productivity of American labor. That's gonna be, let's see, technological advances. But if the question was asking what contributes more to real GDP, is it quantity of labor or productivity? So the top row is addition of row 2 and row 3. Labor productivity trumps quantity of labor. So this one is a more important determinant of increase in real GDP compared to the quantity of labor. Question number 9. Which of the following is a demand factor in economic growth? This one, just spend your money. Greed is good. We got to spend money that would create income and employment for someone in the economy. Now, look at question number 10 and differentiate this one with question number 2. Question number 2 was asking about real gross domestic product. No growth rate. And question number 10 is asking about growth rate of total output. So we are looking at growth rate of real GDP. This is my formula here. Real GDP is labor hours times productivity. If you go to your notes, you'd see we used a log function and we came up to this formula. So, growth rate of real GDP is equal to growth rate of labor hours and the growth rate of productivity. Growth rate of labor hours or labor force, that's 2%, and the productivity is 1.5%. 3.5%. That's all. hope you enjoyed this video.